She's finally 18. I've wanted her longer than I can legally admit.
If you fixating on banging a 3-year-old, you are not innocent. Welcome back to Mangaka calls out pedophilic behavior in the author and anime community. I'm kind of disappointed I'm this far into. TLDR, watch the other video, but if you don't want to, here's the summary. Some woman apparently wrote something in DD and LG, which I believe is daddy and little girl style book writing, and apparently it was promoting a bunch of pedophilic behavior. Look, here's the thing about this, writers. Writing your relationships is not difficult. As somebody who has written a main woman, mother and wife main character in her 20s, a 7-year-old child as the main character, and Mercy, who's firmly 18. Here are the keys to the kingdom that you need to understand with writing age differences, my guys. Let's say I was gonna do daddy, daughter, and little girl with Veronica and Sir Turner. You know the first troubling thing I would address? The fact that he is not going to be her biological father, nor is she going to be a child. I don't care if he raised her. He's not going to have an attraction to her. He will have no real part in actually raising her. While I'm absolutely not in this community, what I can say is that with DD and LG, it appears to be more about the power dynamic than the actual ages here. So if you want that style of, paternal, maternal authority over somebody, guys, this is not hard. Just do it with adults. The same shit I say with reincarnation. You are not entitled to sex and or grooming minors. Just make them adults. Don't have them a part of their childhood rearing. This shit is not that difficult. For those of you in the visual medium that may be like, well, Dark, I want to, have a younger cast, but how do I show relationships? Well, a perfect example of this is going to be, again, in the Night of Slaughter, where I have a large cast, 20 plus characters that range from 8 all the way to 14. As you can tell, there's a lot of boys and girls almost evenly distributed here. And a perfect example of relationships young style, no Diddy, is between Crucian and Omaha the Forestell. She absolutely wants this K-Vel. And while their relationship seems a little bit more comedical at this point, we're going to explore this. Here's Dark's rules for handling relationships in general, but especially with minors. Show only what you need to show, and let the readers imply the rest. I don't need to show these two in a really intimate and sexual way to get the point across. We can explore everything from cheating to emotional development to communication development. We can explore literally every single aspect of this without ever having to show them in graphic sexual nature. But what about the age gaps, Dark? Number one, kind of judging, but let's go ahead and answer this. But since there's some conflict, let's go off the enemies to lover. Veronica is 7, Jalen's 14. How do you handle this? Well, the easy answer is you don't. Like, no joke, I would not touch that relationship, like from a romantical standpoint, until we are at least Veronica is in her 20s. Because it's weird. Think about this. You were in training for at least part of your life with this 7-year-old. You saw her as a 7-year-old, and now you're seeing her as an adult woman. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand romance is the largest genre, and it is primarily dominated by women. But here is the thing. Even if you are a woman, you are playing with fire when you play with this shit. Because all it takes is one bad interpretation that catches some steam, and you have put yourself in a really risky situation. And I don't understand why y'all do it. The bag cannot be that good that you would risk your own reputation for being a CP or pedi sympathizer. I cannot imagine putting myself in that situation. What the fuck? I would rather be known as a monster gooner lord than that. I would rather walk into every single job interview with the CEO or partner level executive and have to explain this before I started playing with that fire. The bag is not that good. If you want to support a creator that doesn't write pedophilic adjacent content, grab Devil's Deal manga or the Night of Slaughter. Or you can support the mating manual by grabbing a Ruby Gold sub or getting a character on the breeding teams by grabbing an original diamond.